Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wrestler Review. Thank God we weren't recording seconds ago. Dylan got invented a new racial slur.
Ooh, I went on a tirade about, you guessed it,
He's
the
thinking of
Irish.
which. Yep, it was the Irish. It was. And let me just say, what the word he said was long.
Patty fuckers.
Whoa, that's a new one
Yeah,
for
you
English
patty
people.
fucking piece of shit.
Whoa, easy. I didn't realize. I was about to just name a comedian.
Quit
we were
protesting
just talking.
and cat lick my balls, you Irish pieces of shit.
Oh, I wish you would Protestant my ass, Dylan.
There you go. Stick a fucking cross in my asshole. Shove it in there till poor blood comes out. Figure out which one is more, and then eat that more, baby. Because we're talking about the Bruiser and the Crusher. Someone who I thought there is no information, so we should probably combine these two people.
I remember when you were like, "There's not that much on these guys," and in my head, I was like, "I don't want to argue with my friend. I don't want to argue with my friend," because it's one of those things where it's like, I knew
it's hard to talk about feuds because basically it's like these guys don't have to develop their characters. There's been more character development in Billy Gunn's 3 years of Billy Gunn's career than there is in all of the Bruiser or the Crusher, because the Dick the Bruiser goes literally, here's Dick the Bruiser's career. Plays for the Packers, gets hurt, starts that someone somewhere says, yeah, he got kicked out of football because he was too fucking extreme. He's like, yeah, for sure, that's why. And then his character is, too many people nowadays wearing pink, I'm gonna fuck him up.
Yeah, this is the thing. It's basically Dick the Bruiser and the Crusher are the Republican Party of the United States before the Tea Party in 2010. Just a white guy with a cigar. Well, why don't you stop crying and get a fucking job? Also, what's that in your cup? It's tea. Tea? I didn't realize you were my grandmother. It's daytime. Men drink beer. Also, you die at 50.
Are they the first guys, like the first generation, where it's like, this is going to sound weird, but like beer is a German drink up until a certain point. When does beer become like an Americanized drink? Because the Bruiser and the Crusher really are in that first wave of like, we fucking drink beers. There's some really good Crusher interviews where he's like, I'm traded for this match. I'm drinking way more beer. That's what he says.
Yeah,
I'm like, how can you not love this man?
Also, their other way of training, which I really enjoy, they dance with fat girls. We drink beer.
Oh yeah,
fat girls.
I was up all night for the cardio with the barmaids. Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
I dance with fat girls and I get hammered.
They specify that's how you work out. Which, by the way, is this is by the way who Dick the Bruiser and the Crusher are. They are the proto ECW wrestlers. No character development. They come in. This is who we are. You love it. We will be like this for a long time. Goodbye.
Fuck you. Suck my dick. Fuck my ass. Also,
there will be no wrestling holds.
There will be no wrestling.
There will be a lot of the promos will be very good. There will be just actual punches, and there will be bodies that you would think you should wear a different wrestling outfit. No,
how manly
I
these
wanted
guys
to be naked.
They had a long-term feud with Larry Hennig and Harley Race. What was the cause of that feud?
Larry and Harley smoked cigarettes, and the Crusher and Dick the Bruiser smoked cigars.
Almost.
And they said cigars mean our penises are bigger, and Harley Race went, this motherfucker said penis to me, and that means if I hear the word penis from a man, I'm a homosexual. Larry, let's fucking get these motherfuckers.
Basically, they were like, we don't like these guys because they are pussies.
Yep. Also,
you know how fucking, that's how sick wrestling was in the 70s, is that two men could look at Harley Race and be like, this guy's a fucking pussy, and the audience would be like, he is. I mean, why does he have curls? And he's like, these are natural curls. No excuse, Harley.
Also,
shave your head, smoke a cigar.
Yeah. Do you want to know what's also great about Harley Race's feelings about Dick the Bruiser and the Crusher?
Hates them.
How does he hates them? Would you like to know why he hates them?
Can't
wrestle. Harley, you're an asshole. Like, also, like, fuck you, Harley. No, like, but Harley, Harley, your move is like, what I do is I go into the ring and I'm an intimidating man, and then I jump off the top rope and hit them with my head. Like, it's not like Harley Race is fucking Ric Flair. You know what I'm saying? Like, Harley Race is basically just
Different time.
He's the Rob Van Dam to their Tommy Dreamer and Sandman. Like that's exactly like who Dick the Bruiser and the Crusher are. Is they're just Tommy Dreamer and the Sandman. Like they literally are just. They look like
way more charismatic.
Oh my god! Like they are.
These guys are who I still want people. Exactly. I trying to think of it. Maybe Rusev before Rusev got like shredded, but like there's no wrestlers that are just like I am a fridge with arms that are mostly forearm because I've had manual labor jobs.
Well, here's the thing. That's the biggest.
There steak and I fuck missionary because I look a woman in the eyes while she's not pleasured at all.
Exactly. I want to look her in the eyes and ask her. That pussy better not be wet. That means you have an infection.
Can you just get near my clitoris? I don't know where that is, and I don't have money for a vacation.
Yeah, I don't.
missionary.
I do really hope that every time like their wives
foreign. Go for it.
Crusher, can you say hello to your son? I don't got any goddamn money to go fishing.
There you go.
So
say hi to my son, I'll punch him in the face, and if he doesn't punch me back, then fuck shit.
I want you all to know before this rest review, I went to go down to go get coffee. This is being filmed in Dubai, and I only just now realized my fly way open. So I was hanging cock in a very strict country's hotel lobby.
Hanging cock is a good phrase.
Of course it is. Isn't it nice? Pardon me. Do you know who invented the phrase hanging cock, Dylan Gott?
Me.
That's true. And do you know who your dad was? Dick the Bruiser.
Ooh.
That's why your nickname's Dick the Loser.
Dick the Bruiser he's also what's his nickname?
Hang on, I got it. The Scorpion Kisser.
Ooh, the world's most dangerous man.
I know he's the world's most dangerous wrestler, and also he was David Letterman's favorite wrestler, which is why David Letterman's band on late night was called the world's most dangerous band. And there's a great Bob Costas interview where David Letterman just talks about how much he likes Dick the Bruiser, mostly because he was like, he'd be announced from Reno, Nevada, and then he'd just smoke a cigar in the ring. It's just like...
Oh, and he loved Heenan too. John, can you check the audio? Just because you're popping things a bit.
Let me just double check my levels here, everybody. Sorry,
But this is like another thing where, like, if they could have wrestled, these guys would have been NWA champions. Just because, like, what else do you want? I don't understand. Like, these guys are kind of a weird bridge to me, where it's like if these guys are young and Vince McMahon Jr. has money, he goes national with these guys as like big tag champs because that's exactly what they want. Who gives a shit about wrestling? They'll do their finishing move and they'll scream about beers. It's gonna be great.
And also, here's the other thing: is I see what you're saying. I actually disagree. There's a couple of reasons why Vince McMahon never used them. One was Dick the Bruiser was banned from Madison Square Garden. He did use the Crusher during the Attitude Era.
Dick the Bruiser was not banned from Madison Square Garden. That was in Hobson's research. That was a lie. That was another one of those lies.
But I guarantee you. But here's the thing with
Wrestlers
Dick the Bruiser.
Lie.
I know they do, but here's the thing with Dick the Bruiser is I guarantee that was a lie that he just lived. Like I guarantee they'd be like, "Come play Madison Square Garden." I'm banned. You're not. I am though. Like you know what I mean? In that weird way that, you know, those shitty, they were really good 10 years ago comedians we both were just talking about before this started recording. Mm-hmm. You know how they have like fake feuds with the Just for Laughs festival that's based off of nothing? Mm-hmm. That's what I guarantee Dick the Bruiser and the Crusher were like, in that they would be like, I can't play Tupelo because I've got a fake family there. And then you go to Tupelo and be like, has the Dick the Bruiser ever played here? And they're like, no. And they're like, he's like, oh, just made that up. We have to stop because I am about to sneeze in a way that means my entire computer will be covered in boogers and snot.
No, mute yourself. This is like radio.
No, I want you to keep going, and I'm going to go blow my nose. You talk about the early. Oh my God, it's coming.
John's calling his wife his nose. I'm going to pause for laughter for you guys to stop laughing until we get back. But anyway, so the Crusher has like a pretty normal childhood The Bruiser actually is pretty well to do, and I am paraphrasing the research, man. I found this text to speech app I'll just might use for you guys. So there's Christopher Hobson has literally 13 pages of research total on Dick the Bruiser and the Crusher here, and I might just do a text to speech so you guys get all the information because we're gonna get something wrong here because I have a child and John didn't get the research till just now. But Dick the Bruiser played in the NFL for the Green Bay Packers from 1951 to 1954. He was not on the good Packers teams; they were very bad.
Oh yeah. Also, there's nothing sadder than being in the NFL before the, let's say, the early 80s, because that's just like, you've got the prestige of playing in the NFL, but you got paid $8 and a man told you to go fuck yourself. Like, there was just like, it was all of the concussions, none of the financial reward.
Oh yes, you just got bad knees. Good for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Welcome to the Minnesota Vikings. We just shot you in the foot.
But Dick the Bruiser, as I was saying, this guy's a pretty well-to-do childhood. He actually, I believe he was like his dad was a politician.
Are you shocked? I was not shocked at all learning that like Dick the Bruiser was a middle-class boy, because no one has that kind of confidence in this era and grew up with any type of adversity. Like Dick the Bruiser clearly was just sort of like, this is what Dick the Bruiser's life was. I want to do that. And then he did it. Like, I want to play for the Packers. Okay. I want to be a wrestler. Here you go. I'd like to be able to drink beer in the morning. Well, you're a wrestler. You're allowed to do that. Cool. I want to say fat people on television. That also is very acceptable now, Dick.
We're going to make you popular in the 50s. We should say this. He gets into wrestling. How does he get into wrestling, baby? How does Dick the Bruiser get into wrestling?
Vern Gagne smells the air and goes, there's an ex-football player near. Someone bring him to me.
Honest
and
to God,
I can't
they just
believe.
need to... Sorry, go for it.
Vern Gagne likes Dick the Bruiser, because there is no one in wrestling that is more not Vern Gagne than Dick the Bruiser. Vern Gagne is a boring bald man who I guarantee only drinks wine, and he's like, his perfect idea of a match is I put a sleeper hold on a wrestler and we lay in the middle of the ring for 3 hours. Everyone is completely silent.
And we softly reassure each other this is a good idea.
Yeah,
it's good
yeah.
we're here.
Yeah, and then also, and Greg is just being told he's not good enough. So quickly, someone tell Greg he's not good enough. Greg!
And then someone hurts my son's feelings. That's my finishing move.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Vern's calling his son, Greg, to let him know that while they are biologically related, Vern considers him a bastard.
But we should suck time also. So he leaves the Packers and starts wrestling, and he's really kind of the dream for a lot of, because he was a starter, and then obviously if you're talking about the 80s, he keeps on playing professional football, but since the money's better at wrestling, he just goes to wrestling completely in 1955 and immediately debuts on the Dumont Network.
You know what that means?
That's big. There's like
That's
3
right.
channels and he's on one of them.
Yeah, it's also, am I the only one that just assumes the Dumont Network is owned by a cigarette company? Like, I don't know why. I always, every time I hear that, I'm just like, everyone involved in that company is dead from lung cancer.
Yeah, and then Dick the Bruiser, which this is my favorite thing is because everyone, Gorgeous George obviously was really big at the time, so everyone was wearing robes and trying to beat Gorgeous George, and his gimmick was fucking, I got my boots and I got my trunks, and his gimmick was, I'm homophobic, even in the 1950s. So that's pretty
cool. Which is, do you know how hard you have to try for someone to be like, this guy's homophobic? And also it's like, what's this new music, rock and roll? Like, it's also, Dick the Bruiser is so the anti-Gorgeous George, and it's sort of weird that it's not more said kind of the yin to the yang of those sort of wrestlers. Like, it's always sort of portrayed this, like, there was Gorgeous George and the ring was empty, and you'd go to wrestling just to see Gorgeous George walk around. Like, they never talk about his opponents, what kind of wrestler he was, anything like that. And then you kind of realize, like, oh, like, they actually were doing what they did now, which is Gorgeous George is a pretty boy with a nice robe. So the yang to that would be a drunk, muscular, fat man yelling.
Oh yeah, and this is the prime time too, where yeah, you could be muscular, but they're fucking get your fucking abs the fuck out of here, you piece
Well,
of shit.
the steroids don't exist. This is pre-steroid time.
Steroids do exist.
In the 50s, do they? Look it up, you fucking bitch.
Yes,
Look it up.
steroids exist.
There's no steroid abuse in the 1950s.
There is
By who?
bodybuilders, Olympians.
There were no bodybuilders in
There
1950.
was. Look it up.
I'm looking it up
They were
right
just
now.
freaks. You know what I mean? Like it only got popular, bodybuilding did, because of Arnold Schwarzenegger, and really takes off obviously after the movie Conan, which then gives birth to Triple H, meaning it's the beginning and end of civilization. But yeah, man.
Oh, who's the nerd that made the fucking steroid fucking Wikipedia? Oh,
Cool.
god damn it.
Cool,
Yeah,
Dylan.
you are right. You are right. It was, there were a variety of Nobel Prizes issued for steroid
Well,
research
that's sick.
starting in 1927. In 1939, isolation and structural studies of steroids on sex hormones. Hello, Dylan.
That's what
Dylan.
I like sex
Dylan, pick up the
hormones.
phone. Pick it up.
Oh, okay.
We're talking about sex.
Sex hormones.
Sex. Hormones, by the way, spelled with a W.
Ooh, that you know what that means.
I'm like a hormone.
Yeah, you've been pretty literal on that one.
That's right.
So
Subtleties for bitches.
Deck the Bruiser gets in a brawl at the Liddell Athletic Club. Good lord, I miss this. Also, COVID was supposed to like erase all comedy clubs, and I was really hoping that we would just get the return of the Supper Club, because I'd love to follow a fucking goddamn musician for its change. You know what I mean?
Oh my god!
crooners?
You also what's weird? You also love dressing up. Like you love a nice outfit.
Oh yeah, triple-breasted, double-breasted is for a fucking hobo. I
That's true.
triple-breast all my suits.
Have you never seen a triple breast? By the way, it's got the two flats of a double breast and then a third flap over top. It is very, very cumbersome and also very thick. You will sweat.
So I'm going to read off a major incident that happened with Dick the Bruiser.
They're at the Liddell Athletic Club.
And
I
it's
assume there's
with,
folded towels.
Alex Karras here. This is Karras, saw the crowds. He saw the crowds, and I had all the money I was making in the Detroit area. I don't know whether you've ever followed Karras. If you've read his book, he always mentions, can't even begin to pronounce that name. This guy was the owner of the place where it all happened. He and Karras were partners. That little Greek kind of guided him. There we go. This is when you fucking fuck Greece, Dick the Bruiser. Anyway, they had easy access to the press because the Detroit Free Press was just a block away. Everybody had their breaks. That's where they came to eat and drink. So they got word in that he was a better wrestler than I was. These sports writers ate that up. I was just a so-and-so football player, and that's why I became a wrestler. He was building himself up because it was so easy because he had access to all these writers. Anyway, I told him to stop doing that, and a big story that he was going to clean up wrestling around here, and that Dick the Bruiser was a bum and so forth. I got arguing with Bruce Karras was the name I didn't even try and pronounce, and then Karras happened to come by, and the first thing we got into a fight. Not much of a fight. Karras and I threw a couple of punches, maybe. Karras got between us, and we fell to the floor. Pretty soon, everybody was against me, and they were hitting me on the head with pool cues. The bunch of goofs. And basically, Dick the Bruiser sustains no damage, but just like being banned from MSG, that adds more to his lore that he'll just fucking fight a goddamn Greek at any time.
Also, a couple of things. One, I learned that Detroit has a big Greek population from listening to a radio interview that Dick the Bruiser did in, I think, the 70s.
He just kept on mentioning his enemies, the Greeks?
He absolutely, I can't wait to be back in Detroit, all the Greek people or Greek men. I remember he specified that at one point. It's on YouTube. It's phenomenal. Also, Alex Karras, I assume, is just the other wrestler in the Sheik's territory. Because this guy, by the way, Dick the Bruiser is still wrestling 20 years later in Detroit. And let me say this about Dick the Bruiser. He's a much better actor than you think he is, because there's no way he actually hated Alex Karras. But the way he is dismissive of him is like, you're like, oh, you don't like that guy at all.
Oh, yeah. Dick the Bruiser also is wrestling fucking everybody. Like, Freddie Blassie, he wins the WWE title from.
Yes.
He's fucking wrestling fucking Fritz von Erich when Fritz is a Nazi, and he's like, "Hey, you Nazis hate cigars." Boo! That's the main.
It must have been so. Yeah, yeah. I just want to let you know I'm going to the ring with Fritz von Erich. Now I agree with a lot of things he did. They were organized.
Let's just say this. I fought alongside them, and they're good people. Anyway, they won't let me smoke cigars. Specifically,
I don't want to take a side in any major dispute. Let me just say that Anne Frank bitch is a lie. Like, oh no.
You prove to me that diary's real. I have a website. Anne Frank lying bitch. You'll learn what websites are.
Let me say this is Dick the Bruiser. You know what else I want to bruise? The Simon Wiesenthal Foundation.
Get him. Dick the Bruiser was the first person to call Bobby Heenan a weasel. This is when Bobby Heenan was a, get this, professional wrestler. Did you know that?
Yeah, I did. Bobby Heenan, by the way, only man who ever claimed not to have ever been trained as a pro wrestler. He just said he showed up. Dick the Bruiser went, "Get in the ring," and he did.
He also
one of the many times where
money.
Wrestlers clearly are lying. Go ahead.
Yeah, in the early 70s, Bruiser and Wilbur Snyder get into business together. They could have been in business before that. Don't quote me on that. But they have their best year ever in 1972. Dick the Bruiser wrestled sporadically until basically he wrestled sporadically until an appearance for the AWA in 1988, and he even gave a promo. I think I put that online.
You get many promos.
WWF in 1990, or was it WCW in 1990? But anyway, and then he died like a year later. We should talk about the Crusher, and then we should take a break, talk about the Crusher, and then talk about their tag team, and then kill each other.
Just before we take a break, and then we talk about the Crusher, and then we talk about their tag team, and then we kill each other. It was a great order of the day, by the way. I just want to say this is also the other thing you need to know about the Dick the Bruiser is he also was
Dick the Cruiser is a good name.
Yeah. It's my nickname when I'm cruising the streets looking for babes. Also, perfect timing to take a break because I just got an alert from my PC that says battery is low, and I looked over to see if my computer was plugged in, and comedically the plug is just it's plugged into my computer and then it's just over here. But before we get to that, is Dick the Bruiser was a promoter. The reason why he gave Bobby Heenan the start, all this sort of stuff, is he ran Indiana. That was his territory. He was always on top as the top babyface, and he had a reputation for being a real piece of shit promoter. In that he always shorted everyone's pay. He also wasn't technically the owner. He put it in his wife's name so that he could always fuck with the athletic commissions.
That's good.
And this came to a head, and I really enjoyed this story. Who came into the territory, Dylan? Who's someone that doesn't fuck around when it comes to payoffs being weird?
Harley Race?
Bruiser Brody pops in. First of all, Dick the Bruiser goes, "Your name's King Kong, Brody, because I'm the Bruiser in this territory."
Oh.
And they were like, "Okay, that's pretty lame." And then he shorted Bruiser Brody on his payoff. So what did Bruiser Brody do?
Beat him up.
Went to the ring while Dick the Bruiser was having a match, punched him one time in the face, and then left.
I mean, that gets the point across.
I love the Bruiser Brody. Like, I understand we're not supposed to speak ill of the dead. Guaranteed not a fun guy to be around. Great guy. Just a great justice man. Just like...
There are a lot of... He gives, like, borderline shoot interviews in the 80s. Like, Bruiser Brody would have, if he would have been, like, stayed in wrestling, which he probably wouldn't have, would have been, like, Terry Funk in ECW.
You know, 100%. He would have been... Yeah, he would have been the face of ECW, and ECW would have been... The one thing is he would have left ECW so many times. Like, the second Paul Heyman was just like, "Here's your check," and he's like, no. "I'm just going to quit."
Yeah, he might have just been in WCW, and then the Hulk Hogan gets to beat him. "I don't pin you after the boot. I'm going to pin you after, the boot, not the leg. You don't deserve the leg."
No, what probably would have happened is Bruiser Brody...
Yeah.
Bruiser Brody would have been brought in to face Hogan because Bruiser Brody and Hogan were weirdly very good friends because of that weird thing of Hogan being big in Japan and Hogan's big protectors in Japan being Brody and Hansen, in that way that Hansen is in No Holds Barred, but never wrestled Hogan because Hogan's like, I can't bring you in because I'd have to beat you and I don't want to beat you. And Stan, yeah, goddamn right, you can't beat me because you can't freaking Leary.
Well, also, like, what's Stan Hansen? They're going to be not friends soon because Stan Hansen's going to be like, I lay my shit in. No, you have to sell the boot, dude. You have to sell it by committing suicide after, brother.
Yeah. Was that Vince? Was that Hulk McMahon? Was that a combination?
That was Hulk.
Oh, my God. Do you think that all of the cost cutting that Vince McMahon's doing of the WWE is just to develop a Hulk Hogan Vince McMahon hybrid?
Yes, I do now.
Like Manimal?
I think he's Hulk. I think he's injecting ovaries into Hulk Hogan, and then he wants to get Hulk Hogan pregnant. And I think that's his ultimate goal.
I think you're right.
Thank you. We're going to take a break and be back with the Crusher's career and then about their tag team.
Oh, and by the way, I hope you're... whoa, you're flipping the bird to the Patreon viewers?
Yeah.
Okay, guys, we're going to do what all wrestlers did in the 1990s. Finger for no reason. Hey, everybody, we're back from break. My name is John, and that's okay. Hey, Dylan, how are you?
Oh, I'm very good. We're going to talk about a guy who had a very thick accent now.
That's right. We're talking about the Sheik. His friend, the Crusher.
Fred Kohler is the first promoter to put the Crusher on TV because he had a physique that said, I do chest, and then what do I do after that? More chest, bitch.
Yeah. I got to say this, is these guys really invented the, I got a gut. Will I cut down on the bread? No. I will overdevelop my upper body, and it will be a distraction.
Well, it's just so funny, too, where it's like two guys. One guy plays for the Packers. The other guy is like based in Milwaukee and makes his whole career out of being Mr. Milwaukee. And it's like that Wisconsin, like, yeah, I'm in shape, but that doesn't mean I'm a sissy-ass bitch that doesn't get wasted all days long.
I mean... Dick the Bruiser is also an example of this, but I do really miss local celebrity. Like, I love local celeb. Like, everyone go look up my local weatherman from Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, JJ Clark, on television for 30 years, retired. Within a year of retired, he is arrested for leaving threatening voice memos on various journalists' voicemails.
Yeah, why wouldn't you be? That's what I do for fucking fun.
Yes, you do. Yeah. Hello, Glenn? It's me, Dylan. You're rude. Click.
Yeah, buddy, this is the great thing. He's I don't know, man. The Crusher is really the basis for a lot of, like, he his finisher's the full Nelson. He uses that goddamn bolo punch, baby. And yeah, he's the, like, these guys, they say it a lot of times, but like Stone Cold Steve Austin was just a way more refined combination of these two guys plus good wrestling. So that's a lot, really. But it's like De Niro just playing the Sandman. I don't know.
But it's also just sort of that thing of, it's again, he has quotable sort of lines. He's always either calling people bums or turkey necks. He's asking people, how about that? He's like very much in a time of that weird, not really embraced and talked about part of the territorial wrestling, which is the Midwest AWA stuff, because all of the NWA wrestlers have gone on to be sort of embraced as the legends of the WWF. Well, all of these guys were like, this fucking Vince McMahon kid combs his hair. You know who else combs his hair? My wife. I don't fucking work for my wife. I'll never work for this bitch.
Yeah,
like, that's
fucking fuck you.
So it's this weird thing with wrestling, in that a huge portion of the history is not talked about because just it was so segmented, and then only certain segments were embraced as part of the wrestling lore. Like, if Vince McMahon rewrote history, Jim Crockett was like around for like 20 minutes, but like a little baby boy, and then cried and died. And Vern Gagne never existed except for the really embarrassing end. So they never talk about the Crusher's significance. It's particular because the Crusher is even more interesting.
They can't make a DVD about the Crusher or the Bruiser as well, because it's like, what's that DVD? Were there substance abuse? No, because they didn't have your schedule yet. So what happened? Well, they got hammered sometimes, and sometimes they didn't. They did a lot of chest and really retired with all their faculties. Yeah. No,
if you're
we should say that about the Crusher did great. Dick the Bruiser, not so much.
Yeah, Dick the Bruiser died in one of the most bizarre... This is how Dick the Bruiser died. He was lifting weights with his son, and then he burst a blood vessel in his throat and choked to death, which is this is how that happened. Dick the Bruiser's son was lifting a reasonable weight for a 20-year-old. Dick the Bruiser was a drunk man in his 50s. He was trying to show his son that he was still better than his son, and he died doing that. That's how he died. 100%.
He was 62. That's how a man dies. You fucking max bench, and then you die in front of your son, so your son remembers what a fucking G.
I do want you to know, by the way, that Dylan, Dylan 4 times already in his son's life has tried to die in front of his son, and we've had to stop him every time.
Yeah, by doing max bench though. That's how I'm going.
Yeah, it was every time it was max bench. Like I was over at Dylan's house and I drove my mom's car, and Dylan then slid under on a skateboard and yelled max bench and tried to lift the car.
Yeah. I inhaled a lot of fluids, but whatever.
Oh my God. Yeah. You then drank all that coolant and just went, because I'm cool. And I was like, he's dead. All happened is Dylan just farted and it smelled like car, and then he was fine.
It smelled like a new car. I had to drink all the coolant to make it lighter so I could try max bench again. That's what I did. That's
true. I have seen Dylan did once lift a house, a Barbie's dream house. Fuck you. Fuck you.
The Crusher won the AWA Heavyweight Championship 3 times. So both these guys, because fucking he said he was gonna drink Vern Gagne. Vern Gagne got confused, thus was pinned.
This is the thing, though, is that Vern Gagne went to his grave screaming about how Hulk Hogan wasn't a real wrestler. And one of his closest professional partners, the person that booked and helped maintain his biggest money territory town, Chicago, during his hottest period, was Dick the Bruiser. And then he put the belt on the Crusher 3 times. And the finishing move of Dick the Bruiser and the Crusher was, you lie down because I'm tired now. Like, these were not even good wrestlers. These were mostly just like, these were flesh rocks on the canvas, baby.
Oh, yeah, and he works for Vern Gagne for 1,000,000 years, and by the Crusher's own words, he does a short run in the WWF in the 80s and says he made more money in that run than he did in his entire AWA career.
I mean, Vern Gagne...
And I never had to watch his son take a shit.
And I never once was just on an airplane with Mad Dog Vachon while Mad Dog Vachon full threw up on his own dick.
Yeah. I mean, are the Crusher and the Bruiser just like the better Nasty Boys? I don't know.
I was about to say the Bruiser and the Crusher are the
wrestle.
pro. Yeah, they are so influential, and no one gives them their due. In that, like, the amount of wrestlers that are this, which is like, for fuck's sake, like AEW is either Vern Gagne's or Dick the Bruisers and Crushers. Like AEW is literally like, these guys can really wrestle, no personality, or get ready for some charisma, baby. Not ask him to get in the ring, because all he will do is sit down.
I gotta disagree. I think everyone in AEW is pretty good.
Yeah, no, it was 100% not a true metaphor. As I was saying it, I was like, this isn't real.
That's the problem. Also, the thing about the Bruisey and the Crushy is that they really don't benefit from being in a time where the main event has to be half an hour. It's fine that it's 10 minutes. You know what I mean? Like, I think one of the better matches in wrestling history, and it's something that will do a lot to make wrestling a lot better, is the Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg match, where they just spammed finishers, where it's like Goldberg did 9 spears and Brock did 6 suplexes, and then Goldberg did a jackhammer or 6, and then Brock did 9 F5s. Like, I think that's like, guys like the Bruiser and the Crusher could have just totally been like, oh, Crusher's in the ring. He's immediately got a full Nelson. Dude broke it because he's very strong. You know what I mean? Just like,
I mean, I have to actually say, I think you stumbled on actually the perfect sort of allegory for who they kind of are, which is they're kind of Brock Lesnar minus the 30 minutes he cared about wrestling, and just is a guy. They look really good, and you would like to watch them.
Yeah, they take wrestling less seriously than Hulk Hogan, because Hulk Hogan guaranteed had some weird thing happen to him in his childhood that made him be like, I want to also be the president for some reason. But they're just like... Here's
something I just recently remembered from all of Hulk Hogan's books.
Mm-hmm.
Hulk Hogan's brother was like a full patch Hell's Angel.
Oh, that's pretty sick.
And like, Hulk Hogan hung out with the Hells Angels all the time, and you're like, oh, that I get it. Yeah, Hulk Hogan, you weren't man enough to be a rock star or an outlaw biker in your father's eyes, so you instead just creepily stare at your friends' wives. Ooh, someone's making hot cakes.
There's also a promo that I think I put on TikTok. I think I put that everywhere, but Hulk Hogan and the Crusher in Milwaukee, and the Crusher makes Hulk Hogan eat cigars, and then he says, we're going to drink a bunch of beer after this. And you have to understand how popular the Crusher is, that Hulk Hogan, in the midst of Hulkamania, will throw away his entire marketing campaign, which is say your prayers, eat your vitamins, to just be like, also, sometimes if a guy's pushy enough, you're going to have to eat cigars and get wasted with him, because this is pretty cool.
Yeah. Like, listen, guys, do not drink unless one friend tells you to. And then do it.
Unless a guy half your size but twice your bench tells you to, because then it's going to be fun.
That's how I started drinking, is Dylan was doing max bench, and he just went, have a cocktail. And I was like, no, right, this guy just lifted 8 pounds.
I did
you're out of focus.
1963, this is when the Bruiser and the Crusher form. Why do they form, John?
There was some fat women dancing, and they went, I want to dance with them.
They forced those fat women to smoke because they thought it would make them lose weight.
Exactly.
Yeah, it turns out
it was just...
and they had
it was just Dick the Bruiser actually just thought Crusher was a fat girl he could dance with.
They only learned they weren't fat girls years later. Very disappointed.
Yeah. They were formed a tag team in the AWA to feud with Ivan and Carol Kalmykov.
There you go, Russians.
I assume they were Japanese wrestlers.
I would hope that at some point they would feud with the Surgeon General and literally beat up the Surgeon General.
Oh my God, that would have been good. And in this corner, the Surgeon General of the United States, and it's just a small. Please don't smoke. What?
You could lose your jaw. You'll lose your jaw. Rips a man's actual jaw off. Everyone, polka. Everyone having fun. Also,
this is also why they are so ECW wrestlers, is also the fact that they talk about the polka. Like, how Paul Heyman didn't fucking book the Crusher on one ECW event just to have him come out, do the polka, and then New Jack's music plays, and then the Crusher and New Jack have to have a full actual fight.
They play Roll Out the Barrel, and then the Crusher full Fox Kimono Wanalea. While Paul says, this is what I'm talking about. This'll get us on CBS.
Yeah, finally, Dusty wouldn't have thought of this one.
How about this? How about the Crusher takes an upper decker and we blow up the ECW arena? And here's the catch. All the wrestlers and fans are in it.
Yeah. It's an insurance scam, Todd Gordon. Paul Heyman.
Paul Heyman. This is good. You know what? They kept sorry. This is wrestling historian. Historian talks about they had a 6-man tag. Wrestling historian George Shire explains they had a 6-man tag, and throughout the entire match, Hennig and Race refused to tag off with Bruiser. That's good. Hennig and Race would tag off with each other, but when Bruiser entered the ring, the referee would throw him out. Bruiser was prancing on the side of the ring apron. Finally, the third fall, Bruiser was ticked, so he goes into the ring. The Bruiser takes the heads of Hennig and Race, smashes them together. Hennig flops outside of the ring, and Wilbur pins Race 1, 2, 3. This was the first time Hennig and Race had lost. Although it was a 6-man tag match, that match set up a long-running feud with Hennig and Race against Dick the Bruiser and, of course, his partner, the Crusher. And also, the Bruiser and the Crusher would refer to Hennig and Race as the Dolly Sisters. Because they're fucking
so good.
Harley Race said in his autobiography that the Crusher portrayed Larry and me as cross-dressing sissies. You are a fucking dress. And I get drunk on beer, and I'm full of sausages.
I love, because here's the thing is, I always enjoy being like, what? Like, Harley Race because he was just like Harley Race is portrayed as this sort of like ironclad rock of a man, and then it's just like no, he was like every other wrestler. He was old enough that our generation of old guys, he was the one they looked up to, but the generation of old guys before Harley were like mutton chops. I didn't realize I was fighting a child. Real men don't shave. Real men just look in the mirror and just go no, and the hair falls off their face from fear.
And also, you look at Harley Race, he has a perm, and he also has that frilly jacket. So there is like. Yeah. We look at Harley Race and we're like, I guess he has a perm, but like, look, this guy's clearly so intimidating. And then it was like, it's just wrestling has the subtleties of how you're a heel are really changed. Like in the 50s or 60s, you could have just been like, wait a minute, are his laces red? That's the fucking most disgusting thing I've ever seen. Him.
Yeah. My opponent did not order a club sandwich at lunch. He had a salad. There's gonna be a riot.
Wait a minute. What's that next to your potatoes? Nothing. If it's not more potatoes, I'll fucking kill you.
Yeah. What's that in your cup? What's that in your fucking cup? That's water. Oh, I didn't realize I was talking to a puss bitch dog. You're a pussy dog.
The busher.
Pussy dog.
The pusher.
The pusher. Who's the pusher? You fucking idiot.
They feuded with the Devil's Duo, which was Angelo Poffo and Chris Markov. I assume Chris Markov's another hurtful stereotype because Angelo Poffo was certainly the miser.
Yeah. Chris Markov was just called the not welcome Chris Markov.
Yeah. Okay,
and in this corner, he can't get a job. Watch out for him, Chris Markov.
So this is Don Fargo and Don Colt, the Chain Gang. Crusher had this promo. Yippies, hippies, and dippies. They never take a bath. They never comb their hair. They have earrings in their noses. You bums, we're going to murder you. I mean, that's so good.
Good stuff.
And then we're going to take you down to Lake Michigan and scrub you and give you a bath, which you haven't had in 10 years. The people will have to boil their water around Chicago for a month or two after that. The people will have to boil their water around Chicago for a month or two after that.
I can explain it. It's because you smell so bad, you're going to affect the water supply, so they'll have to boil the water for clean water.
See, that's good. That's a short promo, and it gets across. We like polka, not people with hair. Anything different. Like, imagine serving...
I also hear something I just realized.
Avocados. He would...
Oh, my God. What happened to the butter? What the fuck happened to the butter?
How over would the Crusher be now? It was just an old man who's just so mad about new things. He beats up the whole internet.
He would somehow be the AEW and WWE champion. Like Tony Khan and Vince McMahon would be like, he's not big enough for one company. Here's the other thing I just realized. How was there never just a hippie that's a heel in territory wrestling? Like, as in, like, it's Dick the Bruiser versus Randy from San Francisco who's trying to date your daughter. No, I
don't know. There probably was, but they didn't like have Vince McMahon style wrestling yet. So it wasn't like the guy's name wouldn't have been like, Woodstock Hendrix. Like that's what it would have been if you apply Vince McMahon stuff to it. But anyway, the Bruiser, the Crusher beat Giant Baba and Antonio Inoki.
This is so crazy. They literally beat Japanese wrestling.
If there's one thing we can both agree on, this is like Tony Khan and Vince McMahon being like, we could both need to have Roman Reigns and Kenny Omega lose to these men in a minute and a half.
Yeah, there's one thing we can agree, and that is that there's no way the Giant Baba wins. Also, can I say this about the Giant Baba, and it's always bothered me? The least intimidating wrestler I've ever seen in my entire life.
It's one of those things where it's like, I only really put together the Harley Race having a perm as him being a pretty boy. I always thought like handsome Harley Race was like a joke. Like, oh, because he's clearly such a tough guy.
Oh, it's interesting. I always thought it was because he was a heel and he's just like, I'm handsome. And they're like, yeah, just let him say whatever he wants.
It's so funny that Harley Race was flamboyant at a time.
Yeah, but it's so funny that's what's flamboyance? Well, he's smoking a cigarette quickly.
He's wearing blue.
Yeah. Clearly, he's not wearing beige like the rest of us. He must have gone to a big city, and not just to get more seed.
He's wearing a shirt with buttons outside of church. He's a fucking asshole.
Yeah, this fucking ritzy ditzy motherfucker has probably heard a woman sing inside a restaurant.
This is pretty dope. Shitty, but in 1984 they had a couple matches against the Road Warriors. Road Warriors were dicks and fucked up the Crusher's back, which is like,
yeah, this is the other thing.
Because they press slammed the Crusher, which was like,
yeah,
what the fuck are you doing?
Please don't press slam this man. He does not. He does not treat wrestling like it's an athletic
in their
contest.
Mid-50s. Yeah. Anyway.
I truly believe though that was Vern Gagne finally being like, that wouldn't have happened to me because I know how to do a press. I know how to reverse a press hold into. That's right, you guessed it. Hammerlock takedown. Like I guarantee.
If you kill me, that hurts Greg's feelings. I'm truly torn. The ultimate finishing move.
Yeah. Oh, do I continue being the most successful man that's ever lived, or do I make my son cry again? Truly. And I think what I'll do is just fake dementia so I can finally kill a man.
All right. September 28th, 1985, Bruiser and the Crusher make their final appearance together as Super Clash 1. Fitting, because they go out in the AWA. They won the AWA World Tag Team Championship 5 times. And the NWA International Tag Titles. That's where they beat Baba and Noki for really one of like, I didn't realize, I thought they were like as single stars, they were very much territory guys, but really all across the world as a tag. And that's how you do it. You get two guys who are really good promos, but can't really work, and they have an okay match because there's two of them.
Yeah, it's a very fascinating sort of thing. Is basically they are that exactly what you said is that you could have considered them as not that legendary, and that's simply because their story, their giant, massively important careers took place in a part of the wrestling world that we do not count as significant, so we just sort of ignore it.
It's so weird because if WWE embraces this part of wrestling, then they have so many more feel-good stories. Because Vince McMahon, just with the high-impact style that wrestling becomes, I think that's coincidental, but just really the travel schedule is what really killed a lot of these wrestlers. I completely say that, but it's the travel.
Well, yeah, it was the travel schedule and also the pills and also Vince McMahon like crushing glass in some of their food just because he just wanted to see if they would bleed.
Do you shit bad then? Ha ha ha! You're dead. What? I'm laughing.
Let me ask you. Let me ask you a question.
Now you're into it.
Brown and red makes purple in the toilet.
Okay, good. But when Crusher had his open heart surgery in 1990, Dick the Bruiser called him every day and even told him he loved him. Of course. Yeah. Dick the Bruiser
immediately died. Dick the Bruiser, I love you. Died. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must go die.
I'm sorry. I love you. Super kick himself. November 10th, 1991, he dies.
And how does he die, Dylan? By being a man, by going max bench.
He was weightlifting with his adopted son, ruptured a blood vessel in his esophagus, and then now he's in there is heaven, and it's only for one man, Dick the Bruiser.
That's right, and that's because Dick the Bruiser went
over on payoffs, and he didn't like sissies, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
It's hard to be like, God. I really like these guys going into it, but then it'd be like, oh, their whole character was that they like hated anything effeminate. It's like, well, now how are we supposed to like this? I don't know.
Well, it's that sort of thing. It's the crazy thing of like, it's that thing of history's also weird in that history like records that like the peace and love movement of the 60s was the mainstream thing that was going on. It was like, no, that was like a small segment of young people in 3 cities in America and 1 city in Britain and like some parts of Canada,
and everyone fucking hated it.
Yeah, most of the country was just sort of like, you just go to Vietnam because they're not white. What? I don't need to. Why do I have to explain myself? I'm Dick the fucking Bruiser. You know what I mean? Like that's
much
the thing,
like
which
now, is it's gonna be recorded like, and everyone loved trans people, and then just skirt over all those shit.
I thought you were gonna say, and everyone was a proud boy.
Well, no, they're going to have to talk about, like, the horrible disinformation, whatever. Anyway, let's talk about the Crusher. He died 2005. There's a really great TV clip I posted on Twitter where it's just about the Crusher basically being like, I'd fucking kick the shit out of all these losers. And the reporter's like, and that is true.
Pretty cool. That's pretty sick. You should do that. That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, the Crusher seems like a much better person because he didn't fuck over anyone on payoffs. And also, he could bench press nearly 600 pounds and he liked to have beers.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, that's
he
what you want.
fucking liked beers.
Yeah. You want to live till your late 70s loving fucking beers.
Yeah. What do you love? I love beers, man. That's cool. That is fucking cool.
Wait 1 second. His wife Faye and infant son Gary. Oh, he died of a brain tumor. I've just reread that. Oh, okay, because he had an infant son that passed away. I thought he meant like he had a kid at 78, and I was like, that's sick.
He certainly did. And let's also never forget
pregnancy. Go for it.
Crusher showed up at Over the Edge, 1997, I believe it was, 97.
Mm-hmm.
And Mad Dog Vachon had a prosthetic leg. Jerry Lawler took the prosthetic leg off of Mad Dog Vachon, hit Crusher in the face. And Crusher took off his shirt and bolo punched Jerry Lawler. And let me tell you this about Crusher without a shirt on. Let me tell you why Crusher was a good guy. Because Crusher's body did not change. Like he just stopped working out the same.
Hey, he said a big chest. Good
yeah, just had a big chest. He had a big hot chest, and he was wearing a fucking Also, something that doesn't happen anymore, which is white men of a certain age just they hit about 65. I'm wearing sunglasses and a hat inside, no matter the situation.
I thought you were gonna say sunglasses, no shirt, because that's a thing.
Another no, that's more of a millennial look. That's a look that I will be bringing back. You guys are. Dylan insisted I put on a shirt because and I'm quoting Dylan right now. Said, "Your pecs are too hard. I will just get an erection." Out of pride.
I have a big erection now. Is what I
said.
Dylan
also, by the way, has stopped saying boner. He now now that he's a father, he just speaks in medical terms. Oh, my penis is engorged to the point of erection.
My penis is cock hard. That's what I say. That's what doctors say. Sir, we're doing this surgery because your fucking dickie's getting sticky up in some punani.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Mr. God, are you aware that Are you aware that your wife is pregnant just because you got an erection around her? Yeah, that's right, man. I'm Dylan Max Bet Gotch. Mr. God, please stop saying that and stop trying to lift things in the waiting room of this doctor's office. Will not. Oh, sorry, I'll do Dylan's voice. Will not. That's Dylan's voice.
Oh, yeah, because of the steroids. It's super high. Anyway, what's the worst thing about the Bruiser and the Crusher?
Best thing about the Bruiser and the Crusher is that they beat the godfathers of Japanese wrestling in the most Verne Gagne orchestrated thing ever, which I guaranteed Verne Gagne not in that match. Anytime a wrestler went to New Japan or All Japan, he made them hear the story of how the Bruiser and the Crusher beat both Inoki and Baba. That makes me so happy. Like just the image of a young wrestler. I'm going to go to Japan. I wouldn't do that, Terry. Let me tell you about two guys that were supposed to lose a match, but then insisted on just beating the shit out of two nice men who came over from Japan. Their names were Dick the Bruiser and the Crusher, and they are very rude.
I really like... Oh, did you know the storyline they actually said in Japan? Why the Bruiser and the Crusher were so... Because they were so disgusted with just like being in a different culture, they couldn't speak. They were so angry, and that's what gave them the superpowers to beat Baba and Inoki.
That's very funny. Also, the worst thing is that they are lost to history because they weren't part of a significant territory that Vince McMahon has included in the lore of wrestling. That's what I would say is the worst thing about the Bruiser and the Crusher.
That's actually true. I think they also, their names just complement each other. You hear the Bruiser and the Crusher, and it's kind of like a great tag name. Like the only good tag names back then were brothers, like brother teams. But like the Bruiser and the Crusher, you don't need to name that tag team. You know
That's
exactly
such a great point, actually, is that tag team names were so like there was like they had a time when it was like they're the doctors, they're the boys, they're the men wearing clothes, and then they're like it's the Chappie Boys, it's the Dongle Brothers, and then you sort of hit the 80s, and it's like everyone had a tag team name, and then it hits the 90s, and it's like I don't know. The Gobbledygooker and Marty Jannetty, and they're the tag champs for 2 years. I don't give a fuck. Like who cares
now? But yeah, that's his end You couldn't have found two wrestlers that would have complemented each other better, and they like kind of came up with their characters that were the same.
Again, I don't think that they were characters. I think that this is just who they fucking were as human
guys
beings.
who smoked, guys who smoked and got drunk.
Yeah, like I like how you're literally trying to apply like modern wrestling tropes to this. Like, oh, they had to develop their characters. It's like that's just who they fucking were, bro. Like they just turned like, yeah. Could you maybe not swear? Don't swear. I'll say
I love it. I love everything about it. It's so from a bygone era of like exactly what you were talking about. Like these guys would have been pissed off at rock and roll music. Like,
oh my god, they would have hated
it. They fucking hated Black Sabbath. These guys thought Black Sabbath were a bunch of fucking long-haired losing bitches, and then they blasted polka while they knocked out these fucking dipshit assholes. Good for them. The idea of a guy smoking a large cigar coming down to polka, it's like, you should be the champ. I don't know. Like, I understand it's just specifically from a time, and that's why it happens. But it's a lot of good stuff. I had a lot of fun watching old Bruiser and Crusher clips. That's fucking it, John.
I'm so happy we did these guys for no other reason than I think that they are incredibly influential on wrestling and they do not get their due whatsoever. Now, Dylan, why don't you fucking tell the people who we're doing next week, you punk bitch?
I'm looking it up now. John, do the plugs and then we'll talk about who we're doing next week.
Ladies and gentlemen, you want to hear more about Dylan Gott? Head on over to Twitter at the Big Stupid Idiot. No, at DYLANGO double of that T. You can check me out on Twitter at the John Hastings. If you want my other podcast, that's the Untitled Twitch stream. Check that out on Twitter at Untitled Twitch or on Twitch at twitch.tv/Untitled Twitch stream.
Let's do Dave Meltzer.
Oh, yes, ladies and gentlemen. Next week, we will be the Wrestler Review boys. Jump in the Why Are We Doing This mobile and head on over to Annoying Town.
How would you even, it would just be like Dave Meltzer would be like him on Donahue because of the steroid trial and then the Ring Boy scandal. We'll have to revisit all those. That'll be fun.
Oh, anyway, I cannot wait.
What clips am I going to post? Just him on Donahue being like, there are 6 chords in this room. There are 4.
Just post a video of his fucking office.
Oh yeah.
Also, this, by the way, after Colt Cabana, this is another episode that will be 100% listened to by the man who we're profiling. I knew Colt Cabana was going to listen, and I know Dave Meltzer will listen to this episode.
Yeah, he wants to hear what these two fucking losers have to say. Yeah.
Yes, he does. He 100%.
That's sick.
He 100% does. I guarantee he'll be. I will.
We'll get subtweeted by Dave Meltzer for sure because he like some random guy would be like, "Hey, I think that the 1, 2, 3 kid should have been the women's champion." And he'll be like, "You can clearly see that could have never happened. Not only not the same gender, but he's a bad worker."
There is a thread. If you can find it, there's a thread that it's so gorgeous.
They go on for so long.
The thread where a guy goes, "No, I think there were 93,000 people at WrestleMania 3." And it's just Dave Meltzer replying. Like the guy literally just says one thing. And this was years ago. I read it all on a train in England. And there were 50 responses. And he's like, maybe you should stop listening to Bruce Pritchard's podcast. That man does not speak truth. That man is a liar. And it's just sort of like, Dave, let it go, buddy.
Yeah, it's like if you were to just walk into a room and be like, they actually lie on a lot of the death certificates. COVID's not that big a deal. And then just watch people yell at you and stand there and be like, yeah, but it's like they fake that part and then just keep on. Like that's what you could do to Dave Meltzer, but about wrestling statistics.
Oh, my God. Actually, I think that Luna Vachon was not as good as Sable, and then just watch Dave Meltzer's eyes full 360 roll in his head.
Yeah, the Kenny Omega thing, like saying Kenny Omega whatever is the hack way of just pissing off Dave Meltzer. I'm sure there's another way to get him very upset. That's like,
yeah. Well, it's also Dave Meltzer brought that on himself with that like when he it's 6 stars, and it's like, no, Dave, shut the fuck up.
I guess. I don't know, man. Who cares?
Okay, so let's just. Oh my God!
At the end of this, we're doing Dave Meltzer next week. We are getting meta. Soon we're gonna do John.
Yeah,
we've run out of people, and it's John.
Yeah, Yeah, the week after we're doing Dylan's son.
And then we're going to have to, John will somehow forget facts about his own life, and Hobson will
Yeah.
find them out.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, that didn't happen.
Yeah. Wait, what?
Actually, your mom, that's not your mom's name. It is. It's my own mother. Oh my God, it's not.
Yeah.
I've been lying to you, John. Anyway, suck a fucking wiener or a dinky or a butthole and have a good night, guys. Goodbye.